Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, it's game week in Duval. It is here, ready or not, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Steeler names that have been a part of that great city forever. Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey. The list just goes on and on and on. Will they play here on Saturday night? Who knows? Still not a perfect science. Unable to figure out with only 3 preseason games exactly what is going to go on. The good news is this. Jacksonville is on a tear. They have won 6 straight preseason football games. And right now, the folks in Vegas are telling us it is even. It is dead even across the board. Your total 35 and a hook. For those of you who play this, you are a degenerate, but we kind of love you anyway. Is there money to be made? I do not know. But again, the line is even. Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Saturday night, right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Again, Pittsburgh household changes. I mean, I had 47 of the 91 new ball players here. I guess Zamet's gone. He went across the pond. They made many more transactions, trying to think if they cut anyone who was actually a part of the football team a year ago. I actually do not believe that is the case, but that is today's NFL. They're here one day, and they're gone the next. All right, it's good to have you with us. We welcome in the second week of August. It's going to be a great one. The Jaguars will get after it again beginning tomorrow. And they'll, practice hard all week at the Miller Electric Center and then get ready for this game coming up on Saturday night. I thought the scrimmage was really good. There was a lot of positivity in that scrimmage. And, it begins with Trevor Lawrence. As I just said a moment ago, I thought that he was nearly flawless. But then he made that mistake at the very end, and depending on where you are when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, it's so easy to fall into the category of, there you go again. He just threw a ball that he intended it for Parker Washington, and it wasn't even close. I mean, Zachariah McPherson stepped right in front of it, and that is what has got to be so frustrating for everyone. You saw the God-given ability. You saw his touchdown passes to Thomas Jr. You saw his touchdown pass to Brenton Strange. You saw some big plays in that game, particularly to Brown. Hunter had 3 receptions for 43 yards. The rushing attack looked like it was on the come. Nowhere near where it needs to be. And frankly, on the other side, without what I think are your 2 best interior defensive linemen, it does leave a little bit to be desired. As we know, Eric Armstead's got a back. So who knows when he'll be ready. And still on the pup with a lower body injury is Mason Smith. But I liked what I saw. Being able to move the offense. And, being able to score early is so important for this franchise. And I do want to believe that last year, or looking at last year, this new regime has spent so much time analyzing what did not work for Jacksonville a year ago. And one of those is something that I complain about all the time because it is so ridiculous. It is so absurd. Is the fact that this offense was never ready at 1 o'clock. The defense was ready. You were ready as fans. Okay? The media was ready. The concession workers were ready. Everyone was ready except for the Jaguars offense. They did nothing with their first possession. It was nice to see them at least awake with a pulse. Granted, going up against the number twos, but still a good effort. Trevor, 19 of 27, 241 yards, 3 touchdowns, and again, that ill-advised interception, that could be the difference. 3 touchdowns, that's 21 points. You're looking to go in again, grab hopefully 28, maybe settle for a field goal. You can't make it. Now, the best part of it is it becomes a teaching point, right? You can go back to that and you can examine it. And, after the scrimmage, let's actually play that if we can. Dylan, Liam Cohen, just absolutely thrilled by the performance of his quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. Again, 19 to 27, 241, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Let's go to that. Here's Cohen on Lawrence.
I thought he was making sharp, fast decisions. The ball was getting driven constantly. I thought it was getting driven. He missed a few, for sure. He missed Travis down on the goal line behind when Ventrell made a great play, but that ball's got to be out in front. The interception's a tough one. Parker took a little long on the route. We had an out and a corner combination down here. The guy that had the out covered, fell off. He lobbed it in the back of the end zone. Just move on, progress, or throw it in the back of the end zone. But I just thought he made good, sharp decisions. He drove the ball. I thought he ran the show well. I thought it was a good night for him.
Thought he was putting up an A before that pick. And you just heard, about the extended route or the wrong route. Hey, you still got to throw it away. I mean, that's your responsibility. You've got to get rid of that football. And it's only a scrimmage. Nobody did now, but you play the way that you practice. And again, and then he had a good effort yesterday. So I think it was Jordan DeLugo has him down 106, 162. That's 106 for 162, 16 touches, 3 interceptions, 7 drops. No way. Brian Thomas Jr. alone has 7 drops. Okay, I mean it has been. Not a great camp for Thomas Jr. And, he played well on Friday night. He caught a couple of touchdowns. Then he had a drop. He showed frustration yesterday after another drop, kicked the ball. He told us on Thursday when he met with the media that he is not frustrated. And this came Thursday after yet another drop. And he did go on to say that, this is going to come together and that it's a work in progress. I think some out there forget because when you lose and 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 you lose, you tend to forget. But last year, early on, Jacksonville didn't throw the football to Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, why would you? You had Gabe Davis. And we all remember the second half of that game against Miami, where he wasn't even targeted in the second half against the Dolphins. Some have said yesterday was his worst practice to date. I thought it was actually about a week ago, where once again he just looked miserable. And I'm on record for this, okay? He's going to be a much better game day player than he is a practice player. But Mac Jones threw the majority of the passes to him a season ago. You still have to improve the chemistry right now with Thomas Jr. and Trevor. What's scary is you can make the case that the chemistry is better right now with first-year wide receivers in Hunter and Brown Jr. than it is with a second-year wide receiver here in town with Thomas Jr. Again, you got another month of practice. You got 3 preseason games. This thing could turn around. But at least early on, it is somewhat alarming. All right, opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Yes, Shmunez Vision. We love them. Man, it's hot outside. It was hot at the bank on Friday night. It's going to be hot coming up on Saturday. It's hot no matter what it is that you do, and therefore allergies, right? Pollen all over the place. If your eyes are itching and you have issues, set up an appointment today. Get yourself an eye examination. Now, there's wants and there's needs, right? There's needs and there's wants. What would a want be? How about laser eye surgery? How about 20/20 for the rest of your life? How about never being able to once again be frustrated because you can't take your, find your readers, or you pass out with your contacts in? It's just awful, right? That won't be an issue with laser eye surgery. Needs, well, if something is very significant, cataract surgery, refractive surgery, etc. You're talking about way more than 30 years worth of experience with Dr. Neo Schminez, Dr. Catherine Schminez, and Dr. John Hunt. So check them out online. Go to Schmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials at Schmunez Vision as well. All right, we're busy tonight. We got a new clock here, so we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. I think diehard listeners will be able to pick up on that. But when we come back, much more on the scrimmage. Also coming up this hour, Travis Holmes is going to join us from Big Cat Country. And certainly we are going to involve you. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we sent Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Your grandfather was stronger at 50 than you are at 40. Want to know why? His testosterone was 30% higher than yours. That's not genetics. That's modern life killing your hormones. Stress, chemicals, sitting, it's all crushing your T levels. Male Excel reverses it. Prescription testosterone, thyroid optimization, personalized to you. Over 100,000 men are already winning again. Your turn. Try MaleExcel.com. Free assessment because you deserve it. Your family deserves it.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's most interesting options. 1010XL's Media Mogul Hicken here. Watch for Musing with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Made possible by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
I'm Frank Franzi. I told you my daughter Amber has tried Awaken 180. Man, has it worked. You ready for this? After 3 weeks and change, she's lost 22.5 pounds. You should give it a try. 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In the summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. So whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Monday. It's a good one. Hot. Oh, man. Blistering outside. Tonight's show brought to you by Miller Electric. I'll get there in just one moment because they are hiring, and that's big news. Dylan Denmark is with us. Good weekend for you?
Yeah, I watched, I played a little bit of golf yesterday, and I didn't do anything Saturday. I cut the grass and ride on the couch. Try and enjoy my weekends a little bit before, we get full-blown into college football Saturday and NFL Sunday.
Right. The golf course, I was lucky enough to play today in the Furyk and Friends event over at Timuquana. Oh, man, was it not a lot of breeze at Timuquana today. And not a lot of shade there. Wonderful golf course. Love being able to play there. But, it's free drinks for everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, of course, because I am a professional, I would never consume before I came on to the radio program. But others were certainly getting after it today. But, I bet I had 8 bottles of water while I was out there.
I bet. And I bet you burned it all on that golf course by the first 12 holes.
Right. You can tell. I guess the best way to tell if you're hydrated or dehydrated is when you go to the go to the restroom, and not a lot today, which is kind of disappointing for me because I try to stay hydrated, but man, it was brutally hot out there. Golf course in impeccable shape. Greens are grown out a little bit, but of course they have final year of Furyk and Friends at Timuquana. This is year 5, and they're moving on after the year. But that comes up in late September, early October. Before you know it, that will be here. Again, tonight's show brought to you by Miller Electric Company, one of the most trusted names in the industry for more than 96 years. No matter where you are throughout Jacksonville, you're going to see that there is more and more building that is going on. Wait till you get down to the stadium. Maybe you were there Friday night. Hopefully you'll head down this Saturday night. And the city is building, and a lot of people want to come here and live in Duval. No matter where you go, it's all about Miller Electric Company, okay? And they are hiring right now. Not only are they hiring, they believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, an unbeatable culture where people actually care about one another. I'll say this, that's true. Spent a lot of time with Miller Electric, both during the work hours and outside the work hours. And that's a phenomenal group. And you should be proud if you had the opportunity to work with them. So just go to Miller Careers to get all the information. Miller Careers, whether you're an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, or you're just looking to get yourself started at Miller Electric. Again, go to Miller Careers. Good news yesterday, Patrick McCarry back after having a lower back and back spasms. He was able to return. Johnny Munt, upper body limited, but made his way back out there. Bayshell Tootin with the hamstring. Saw him move around a little bit on Friday night at the scrimmage, individually, etc., but did not take part actually in the game or in the scrimmage on Friday night. And they've made a whole heck of a lot of transactions as of late, including, they bring in Levi Wallace, who spent 7 years in the NFL as a corner for depth. They bring in Austin Johnson, who's played 131 games at defensive tackle. Last year in Buffalo, fans will remember he was actually a second-round pick in 2016 for the Jaguars. All right, Jacksonville did something interesting. I remember the offseason. I remember when Cam was still here. And I remember going through, like, if you were to put out a vote, or if you were to do a survey, or just have some fun with it, you could really make the case that I thought it was a 33% chance that Cam would stay on as the left tackle. Walker Little would win that battle, or they would take Anton Harrison from the right tackle position and flip him over to left tackle. We all know that out of 23 starts at OU, he played left tackle 22 times for the Sooners. But that's the way this former organization was, or the former brass was. I mean, outside of really, I guess, I don't know, Trevor Lawrence, maybe Brian Thomas Jr., they never drafted guys and played them at that position. They were always tinkering a little bit, as if they're the smartest people in the room. Oh, let's work Jalen Ramsey out at free safety. Trayvon Walker, we have no idea what to do. I mean, this goes on. What was his name? The Gator defensive tackle, Taven
Bryan.
I mean, just no idea where to play these guys. And it was so frustrating for me. It's like, feel free to draft a guy who plays a position and have him still play that same position. But, they did not do that. However, we did see on Friday that Anton Harrison got some reps at left tackle. And, they came out with a depth chart today, which for me is always exciting news whenever you get this, because you're always going to find a wrinkle. There's going to be something in there that maybe you don't understand, or at least I'll speak for myself, that I do not understand. And then you can ask about it and hopefully get clarification. But it is Little, and then Cleveland, then Hainsey, then it's McCarre, and it says or Edoga, who many believe right now that he has had, and it's premature, but he has had a camp that has been good enough where it may be a surprise if he's not starting on opening day against the Carolina Panthers. I think the assumption all along was that if a job was to become available, it was Fred Johnson at left tackle. A few folks said it, including our buddy Pete Prisco. Edoga's really had a solid camp. And McCarre, they spent a lot of money on. I just don't see how you can sit him down after you spent the money. I mean, can you make a case that Edoga moves over to right tackle, that McCarre comes back and plays right guard? Is there now all of a sudden a battle at left tackle when you have major money invested in Walker Little and it's year 3 of a original contract as a first-round draft pick in Anton Harrison? I don't know at this point, but it's very intriguing. They actually have 3 oars in here: Johnny Munt, Hunter Long. Johnny Munt, as I said, did return, and then Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. I'll go through this a little bit more in the program when we get to the defensive side. Again, it's an unofficial depth chart. You're always told, don't make that big of a deal about it. But, it's our first opportunity to see what they have listed. Someone came up with this. My guess is it was the head coach in Liam Cohen. So the one thing that did stick out to me that was a little bit of a surprise was both punt return and kick return with Parker Washington. Tank is a backup kick returner right now. They do not have a backup punt returner listed. And to me, I mean, when you look at a guy like Tootin, I know he's been slowed. I know it's tough for any rookie to come into this league and be asked to return punts. But, we got a whole new world ahead of us. You may have forgotten about the kickoff rule changes that are going to come into play. I still would love to see this young man with this blazing speed get an opportunity. All right, let's get to the defense a little bit. Trayvon Walker is just sensational right now. He is. And he's making more money day by day by day. But he looks ferocious. He looks right now like he can't be stopped and that he's going to force double teams. And I think the only way that you can make the case that he's really going to be shut down is if, once again, they're getting zero penetration from their interior defensive line. We know that last year, ESPN and their metrics had Jacksonville as the number 30. They were 32nd. They were dead last when it came to pass rush win rate. Jacksonville's numbers last year were just awful. It doesn't matter where you go. Offense, defense, every statistical category was just awful. I mean, just terrible. And it just boils my blood when I see this. And, it keeps popping up and it keeps reminding me this and that and this and that. But, yeah, 32nd in the pass rush win rate. They were 27th in the run stop rate. And, again, they were overfed. They were slow. And they were rotating at a pace that has never been seen before. Very easy just to blame Ryan Nielsen. It is. Very easy just to say, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. His arrogance rubbed the players the wrong way. His arrogance rubbed the front office the wrong way. Boy, did he get me. I tell the story often. I remember he walked into the Miller Electric Center, and he was with Doug Peterson, and I spent probably 3 or 4 minutes. It was real brief with him in the kitchen. And I came out of there thinking, damn, man, that guy knows what he's talking about. What a great find for Jacksonville. And, of course, it was toast. And I should have realized that in that very first preseason game. I remember asking Doug Peterson about the hockey shift. I was like, Doug, have you ever seen a situation before in defense when you literally had 5 guys come on at one time and 5 guys go off? I wish we had that saved. It was incredible to me. I'll tell you who else looked really, really good. It's Devin Lloyd. He looks faster. He looks like he understands where he's supposed to be. I don't know if at this point they are just simply allowing him to trust his football instincts, or does he feel much more comfortable now with this overall new scheme? I mean, his blitz, if that's the way that this is going to be, with, the first layer, you have 2 guys who can just flat get it, in Hines Allen and Walker. You obviously need much more coming from your interior defensive line. But if they're going to send their second layer on some blitzes, whether it's a zone blitz or whatever it may be, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Devin Lloyd could end up having an enormous season. I still, let's not put the cart ahead of the horse. I still don't think he's part of the plan. I think this is it. I'm not going to treat linebackers like running backs, but I just think the way that this organization looks at things, there are going to be more priorities that need to get done. Again, you could say it here in early August. I'll say it. You can make the case that a year from now, we're talking about starting linebackers, and when you go into your nickel, your starting linebackers are Ventrell Miller and Jack Kaiser. Could very easily be the case, but that's in a year. Right now, you got Aloakon and obviously Miller and Devin Lloyd, who I thought looked really, really good. All right, coming up at we got another one before we bring in our buddy. I guess we do. We're going to talk with Travis Holmes, who's going to join us from Big Cat Country. Sat pretty close to him in the press box on Friday night and took in the ball game from the bank, and we'll get his thoughts on what he saw during the scrimmage. If you want to join us, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And as well, you can get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL Into the Night.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. It's Renewal by Anderson's triple savings month. Get $300 off windows and $825 off patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns as the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400, August 23rd. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Derek Trucks will make that bad boy sing. Huge Jaguar fan. And Florida State Seminole fan. CRS092 on YouTube says that he saw Tedeschi Trucks Friday night at what the hell's that place called in Colorado again? I've been there.
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks, yeah. Man, I'd love to see them out there. Went through there a year ago when his brother was playing when I was on vacation for Widespread Panic. But I don't like them the way that I do like Tedeschi Trucks. All right, we move on. It is a Monday edition. My name is Rick Ballou. He's still in Denmark with you tonight until 8 o'clock. Back at it tomorrow morning at the Miller Electric Center. I'm going to get an opportunity, and I'm thrilled about it, to talk with Walker Little after tomorrow's practice. So that should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. And, just continue to get better. That's what this football team needs to do right now. Most of what I see has been positive, right? There has been a little bit of negativity, okay? The interior defensive line for me is a huge question mark. And a lot of that is because of Eric Armstead, and a lot of that is because of Mason Smith. Listen, you have no choice. You have to trust the team. You have to trust the doctors. You have to trust what they are looking at. It feels like it's a country club atmosphere for Eric Armstead, and that needs to change at some point. I would be beyond shocked if you see him out there Saturday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I went on record. I thought this young man's going to be able to turn things around this year. I just believe that there's some professionalism there, some pride there. I mean, he's thought of very highly across the league, obviously winning the Walter Payton Award. Around here, he's remembered first for liking a tweet. And that's understandable because he was garbage a year ago. I mean, that man did nothing one season ago. But I've laid out for it and said I expect a complete 180. I got to believe privately right now, there is a little bit of concern. What's going on? Why hasn't he been able to get out there? Unless they have us completely fooled. And it's a deal where we'll watch this. We're going to give him a veteran camp. And once the season does begin against Carolina, he's going to be able to flip the switch. I think I have done 37 minutes worth of radio. And I have not mentioned the name Travis Hunter. I should be fine. Do you have a kangaroo court yet? Do you producers have one on the other side?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because, how dare you, Ballou? You're talking about Eric Armstead. You're talking about a 31-year-old with a bad back, when on the other side, you got a 21-year-old who is immune to fatigue. He does not tire. Is he human? 38 plays Friday night. According to Mike DeRocco, the scrimmage went 87 plays. Hunter gave you 38, gave you 17 on offense, 21 on defense. So he played 47% of the snaps during that scrimmage. He was much more productive offensively, or depending on how you look at it. Offensively, he had 3 receptions for 43 yards. 21 defensive plays. They didn't target him. There was one underneath ball, but they didn't challenge him one-on-one. It's so easy to sit here and call shots and say that's a mistake. I just would have assumed that they would have gone after Travis Hunter on Friday night. See what he's all about during a one-on-one situation, but they did not. And again, you can always look at it this way and look at it that way and do whatever it is that you, in fact, want to do. But to me, that was a little bit of a disappointment that we did not get that opportunity to see what happened with that defensively. All right, let's get ready to bring in our buddy. Let's do that here on the other side. We'll talk with Travis Holmes. He, of course, covers the Jaguars beat for Big Cat Country. Then we're going to get you involved with the show. The best way to do it, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, you can join us on YouTube at 1010XL into the night.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner with honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 877-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Experience the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra as they bring to life the legendary sound of Journey.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
Feel the power of Faithfully. Rock out to Wheel in the Sky and sing every word of Don't Stop Believing. Friday, August 8th at the historic Florida Theater. One epic night of the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra featuring Journey. Get your tickets at floridatheater.com. Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now is the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of September, you can join and save 50% off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it. And send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. ET here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The depth chart is out. The depth chart is out. You're too young, Dylan, to remember The Jerk with Steve Martin, right? When he's like, the phone book is here. The phone book is here.
I know what a phone book is, but I have no idea what you're referencing.
That, The Jerk probably came out in what, 1980? Something like that. Very funny at its time. Travis Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, covers the beat for the Big Cat Country, and he joins Rick Ballou. What do you say, Travis?
Ooh, I say things are going good. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to getting back out there. Let's before we get to the scrimmage, 9 practices in, what have you been most impressed with so far?
Well, because I walked into the season with a lot of questions on the Jaguars secondary, and I'm a former DB, so I'm always going to have to go that route. I've been impressed by how Jarian Jones has kind of shown out this camp. I'm going to start with him. Simply because I had my questions on how he was going to perform when you put him outside. But honestly, he's answered every question, checked every box. And, hey, man, that man deserves his flowers, and I want to make sure I'm the first one to give him. So starting there. But, so I would say starting with Jarian Jones, starting with the performance of Jordan Lewis, starting with the performance of all those guys in that Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback room, I think they've shown up and shown out. They seem to have accepted the new system, accepting the coaching, and they've been doing some really solid work technique-wise and working on turnovers and all of the things you kind of want to see from a new regime, from a new coaching staff, et cetera, earlier in training camp. So I think that's definitely the Jaguars secondary so far.
All right, let's slide over to the other side. Is there something that has surprised you negatively so far in camp?
I mean, negatively, it's still training camp, man. I mean, we've seen these guys in pass for a week, so I still have questions. And I do have a lot of questions as far as the Jaguars' tight end room. I mean, you've obviously seen them getting nicked up with Hunter Long, with Johnny Munt, and knowing that that wasn't a deep room, I still have questions that have kind of yet to be answered with the implementation of the new offensive system, how much these guys are going to be involved, and now finally getting to see them a little bit in pads over this past week. So that's still kind of up in the air. So I don't want to necessarily label it as negative, but I got questions.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just jump over. I don't want to go too far right. I don't want to go too far left. I'm generally not that guy, but I would definitely say those questions haven't been answered yet.
Travis, where are you so far with Trevor Lawrence in this new offense?
Oh, I think Trevor's been looking good. I mean, I don't want to go too far and say this is the best camp he's ever had, but he's been sharp. I mean, I will give him that. And if any fans have been in the stands and seen any of the training camp practices, I think they'd probably agree at bare minimum. The floor is saying that he's moved the offense very well. He's controlled it very well. And even on his worst days in camp, he's probably been about average to a little bit above average. And that's got to leave you a little bit hopeful from where he is in his recovery from his injury, getting his strength back in his arm, getting, maturing with the guys in the offense, trying to get their timing down, all the things you kind of expect to see, and still saying the worst case scenario that you've seen so far is probably average. I think that's a reasonable expectation for where this offense can grow going forward into the season, if that's your floor.
Off day for Jacksonville. They're back at it tomorrow morning at the Miller Electric Center. Travis Holmes is our guest. He is the beat writer for Big Cat Country. All right, speed is ridiculous. It is all over the place, particularly on offense. And I think some forget that Mac Jones actually targeted Brian Thomas Jr. more a year ago than Trevor Lawrence. Early on in camp, Diami Brown looks so good. Travis Hunter looks so good. There's been frustration. Any concern at all about what I believe is Jacksonville's best player, Brian Thomas Jr., at times not on the same page with Trevor Lawrence?
I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was some concern. It's definitely, you see it, you notice it. There's a little side eye. I get it. Again, he's had, I believe it was 2 days, if not 3 days overall of those 9 practices where he was just super frustrated. You see him punching walls. You see him just not happy with the performance that he's kind of putting on tape right there. And I get it. If you have that high ceiling for yourself, he's also entering his his first NFL full off season, and now with the additional expectations that he's going to be that guy and having to rise to that occasion. And that's going to take some adjustment, I guess. It feels like, but at the same time, again, it's still training camp, and I don't want to just we've seen him have a rough start to a training camp, to a Jaguars off-season period, and then become the Brian Thomas Jr. that we're all expecting to be the number 1 receiver for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. I don't think this is the time to really worry about it, but it's absolutely on the radar because, if you're talking 3 days out of 9 that he hasn't, kind of just been on that same page, even if it doesn't make you worry about Brian Thomas Jr. himself, it absolutely should make you worry about what this offense is going to be if he is having an off day.
Yeah, no doubt about
things will happen.
Yeah, and maybe one way to define it is it's certainly not the lack of effort, but when it's all said and done, he's going to be a much better game day player than he is a practice player. All right, leave us with Eric Armstead. I'm confused by this. I kind of laid out and said, besides Trevor, I had him at number 2 on my list of guys that I think are going to make a complete 180 this year for the Jaguars. And it's one of two things. Either there's a problem and he's got a back, or they're just looking at this saying, hey, we're going to be the smartest people in the room. We're going to give him July and August off and just get him ready for Carolina in September.
I mean, I think it's the second option, honestly. Whether or not the sore back is a real thing or whether or not that's just a label that you're putting on it. Like, he has a back, but he probably would have played if it was a regular week or, he has something going on, but it's not something that necessarily would have held him out. Is two different conversations, and honestly, we'll never know. At least until you're getting to the point where they have to truly list guys on the injury report and have to list guys on IR and all those things. But overall, we're talking about an NFL veteran that's played in. I'm not even sure how many years it is at this point. But he obviously knows his body. He knows what he can take as far as that's concerned. And he also rarely finished an NFL season when he moved inside at defensive tackle over the last few years. Like, we know this. That was the reason for that whole conversation about moving him out to end, is to prolong his careers, to allow him less banging, less car accidents, we call them, at defensive tackle. So now he's going to be moving back to tackle. Maybe they're just like, all right, cool. We understand. You know your offseason program. You know how to do this. We're going to give you that offseason. Maybe that's the route that they're taking. Or maybe it truly is, I want to see him on the grass, but he doesn't think his body can handle it, and he's just going to go that route, and we're just going to figure it out when week one gets here. I don't know, but it's been a definite conversation in all the circles of Jaguar fans and media that I've talked to, is we don't, you will never really know unless he just admits it on a podcast or something. So, but yeah, I think personally that they're just trying to prolong his career, help his body, and he's just trying to kind of keep it moving in that way because he historically has not finished his season when he's playing defensive tackle.
Travis Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, he is with Big Cat Country. He is their beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis, thanks, man. I'll see you soon.
Appreciate you, Rick.
There he goes. 11 years for Eric Armstead. This begins his 11th season. Of course, 9 in San Francisco, last year in Jacksonville. 6'7", 290, 31 years of age. He'll be 32 November 15th. He was the 17th overall pick in 2015 by San Francisco. And, you know, that is a mammoth wild card. There's so many on this team. There's so many on every team, all 32 teams at this point. Not every team, but most teams, there's more questions than answers. But this is a big one here in Duval. Again, if you missed it, they added a defensive tackle today. Austin Johnson, 131 games in his career. Last year, he was in Buffalo. He's had 3 stops, including in Tennessee, where in 2016, he was the second-round pick. So we just talked about Eric Armstead. He was a first-round pick in 2015. Austin Johnson was a second-round pick in 2016. And he did sign on with the Jaguars a little bit earlier today. All right, help me out with these new clocks. Do we need to take a break, or can I ramble on for a couple of more minutes?
We got about 2 minutes before we got to hit a break.
Oh, okay. All right, trying to learn this new stuff. And listen, I can adapt. You know, I can learn on the fly. One thing, did you look at the depth chart? Did you have a chance to analyze it?
So yeah, I looked at it for about 20 to 30 seconds.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Well, they give you 12 on offense. Again, they give you a double tight, and they give you 1 back, and they give you a 3 wide receiver set. So they give you 12 on offense, but they only give you 11 on defense. And it's a 4-3-4. So they didn't add the nickel for the 12th man. And we know that you only play 11. We all get that, but that's the way that most depth charts are, because they'll, beside your base defense, they'll include a nickel. And, they'll also put in the pro-style offense offensively. It's Hamilton listed as a starter next to Armstead. That's the way that your 2 are in the interior defensive line. The backup to Hamilton is Jordan Jefferson. The backup to Eric Armstead is Mason Smith. So this is exactly what we've been talking about for quite some time. 2 of your starting 4 aren't able to go. And that's petrifying. I mean, Mason Smith is the one guy who looks like he's really added weight. You can see the weight loss with Hines Allen. You can see the weight loss with Lloyd. It feels like this secondary is faster, and they're attacking the ball But you get to the interior defensive line, you get a guy like Mason Smith, it's like, okay, he added some weight. Now, Liam Cohen, I asked him about the injury, when it happened, like going back very early in camp, and he had all the right things to say. Fantastic camp, great shape, incredible offseason. But all of a sudden, Tyler Lacey had a sack the other night. And I want to say Tyler Lacey, maybe we'll play that next hour, was singled out by Anthony Campanelli. But that's pretty intriguing. All right, there's a couple of other things here on the depth chart that I think you'll find interesting as well. Well, for what it's worth, we'll get that out. But let's do this during the 7 o'clock hour. Let's get you involved. For those who have been out at the Miller Electric Center, for those who took part in the Friday night mock game, any Jaguar question that you do have is good in our second hour. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
Helmets and Heels calls on Jags former middle linebacker Tom McManus to elevate your afternoon.
He's the best. Guy's got it all.
Join the new Helmets and Heels afternoons from 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
We're professionals. We have a job to do, a season to plan.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 4th, 1984, Carl Lewis wins his first Olympic gold medal in the 100-meter dash.
Hey, it's Joe C. Summer in Jacksonville means the sun is hot, the grills are fired up, and your water heater probably full of sludge.
Nah, not mine.
Think, when was the last time you flushed your water heater out? It's okay, you can say it.
Probably never.
Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan.
They sure don't make them like they used to.
So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059 or at plumberinjacks.com. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season, and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. Almost a little bit before my time, or those are like years that I just didn't watch television. It was like, like at Florida State, man, I never watched TV. And if I did, it was typically sports, but she lived to the age of 79. And remember her most being with Burt Reynolds. Of course, WKRP in Cincinnati. Again, I don't know if I ever watched that show live, but was sad to see her go over the weekend. Apparently, she was a lovely lady. Again, I'm not my depth on her as far as what she did as an actress is not there. But certainly I do remember the name. And she was also, she was a pinup. She was a, what's the word I'm looking for? Hottie. What do they call those type of, she was like a calendar girl, right? What's the word I'm looking for, Dylan, for crying out loud? Help me out here.
Let me see here.
I don't know. It's the name of a superstar.
I look up Calendar Girls and it gives me the movie from 2003.
Yeah. Anyway, she was a sex symbol. Let's just go with that. So, anyway, rest in peace. I am. Nepotism to me is very interesting because this is where I think it goes. You'd be a fool not to take advantage of an opportunity that is granted to you because of your dad or your mom, okay? But you have to earn it. You have to be good. And the Zach Herbstreit deal now that came out, that all of a sudden he's going to become a glorified college football analyst at On3 is going to be pretty intriguing. Now, I don't care for his dad at all. I don't care for Dr. Herbie because I think he's a total fraud. I don't have it in me to dislike this kid because of his daddy, okay? If he's good, he's good. If he's not good, he's not good. But there's also a lot of pressure that goes along with that. You better be able to get your gig. I mean, people don't like Joe Buck. Joe Buck's really good. Of course he got his start from Jack Buck. And whether you like Joe Buck or not, he's good, okay? The Careys, grandfather, father, son, opportunities granted, but they were very good. You don't want Zach Herbstreit to be like Jack Collinsworth, right? It's difficult enough to have to deal with Chris Collinsworth, but then nepotism comes in and you produce something called Jack Collinsworth. Okay, that's really, really bad. Never really have gotten involved in the Mike Golick Jr., so don't know enough there. But, Marv Albert and his kids, all very good. No one would argue with that point. So we'll see what happens here. And, I'm sure there's 1,000 more qualified young men and women who should get this job. The name Herb Street is going to move the needle. He's also going to be under the microscope. Again, for the record, I'm not hoping that he fails. I'm not that way. Believe it or not, I'm really not that way. But you better take advantage of the opportunity. You better work your ass off if you want to make it in the business. So that came in a little bit earlier today. Was actually surprised that came in. And then, you get to the NFL and you have all this stuff that's going on right now in Dallas with Micah Parsons, and it's just like, what has happened here? I mean, Jerry's 82. Here we just talked about Lonnie Anderson, who passed. All right, look at every week. We lost Ryan Sandberg last week at 65. We lost Hulk at the Hulk at what, 71. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. Actually, check that. Ozzy probably should have died when he was 25, but he somehow outlived it. But we're having people die before their time. If you're Jerry Jones and you're 82, and you've made more money than you can spend in 20 lifetimes, why would you get into a contract squabble with Micah Parsons? At this point, if he was 52, I could see it. 62, but 82? I mean, realistically, Dallas hasn't won anything in what? How many years has it been since Dallas has won the Super Bowl?
They've never won a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So
it's more than it's getting up more than 30 years.
Yeah.
I believe. Isn't the goal, the realistic goal for Jerry Jones, try to win one more. You're 82. Pay the man, end the conversation, keep him happy. The organization looks smart. Get the deal. It just really shocks me that is actually the case, but that's something else that's going on right now in the NFL that I think is anyway.
He's done that his whole career though.
Backwards. Yeah.
With Emmett, and then I know he did it with Zeke a few years ago. They always, Dallas would be a top story for the next month, and then they'll get the deal done 3 or 4 days before week 1.
Almost like he likes the attention, but all the attention he gets is negative. I mean, from fans, from media in Dallas, it's negative. I mean, you can count them on one hand, the people who are faulting Parsons here compared to Jones. All right, let's get back to the scrimmage on Friday night. Again, we were talking about the Jaguars' defensive line a little bit. I think it's right now, it's certainly my biggest concern. And always my biggest concern is the offensive line. But right now, it's the lack of bodies in the interior defensive line. Anthony Campanelli had this to say yesterday, but a lot of it came with his thoughts after Friday night scrimmage.
Those guys, they're working hard for us, We're just trying to develop consistency in there. And I think those guys are getting a lot of good work. You know what I mean? I thought they did some really good stuff in the scrimmage. I thought Lacey had a good scrimmage the other day. And I thought those guys were working hard, running to the ball. And the biggest thing we talk about a lot is not staying blocked. And they're doing that. Whether they're grinding blocks and playing primary to secondary or getting penetration, they've been doing what we're asking them to do. And we're going to keep asking them to do that, with a great level of consistency.
What really helps a football team is when you get great play from guys that you don't necessarily think you're going to get it from. In my opinion, in 2 years, Tyler Lacey has been, or in 2 years, 23 and 24, he's been a snap count guy. He's been someone who spells others, gives a starter a blow. When they need to take off their helmet and take a knee on the sideline, you send Tyler Lacey in. Can you give it 17 plays a game? Can you give it 21 plays a game? Think of the opportunity that is there in front of him. And the same thing applies for Jordan Jefferson. These are former fourth-round picks in 23 and 24, respectively. They have a massive opportunity right now. With Armstead and Mason Smith out, the only guy with experience is Devon Hamilton. Now, there's been some younger guys. Eli Mostert has done a couple of nice things. I really can't sit here and give you much on Danny Strigo. I can't give you much on Ethan Downs. I can't give you much on Kiwi Rose or James Carpenter. I just haven't seen it. at this point. And again, they're going to, I think when you look at the waiver wire, this is absolutely going to be the number one position that they add, in my opinion. And they added today, as we pointed out in Austin Johnson. But it just feels like they need more bodies at defensive tackle. All right, the remainder of this hour, let's take a look at the college football coaches poll. It's out, top 25, if you have not heard. And let me check the text line. Ooh, some good stuff coming in here, including 75 on what I should be referring the late Lonnie Anderson as. It appears that we do have some Jaguar questions in here as well. If you want to, right now, it's a great time. If you want to address anything that is Jaguars related, 641-1010 on the text line. That's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the Nights.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Finding the right plumber to reline your cast iron pipes doesn't have to be a stressful experience. When you hire Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, you can rest assured you're getting the best in the industry. At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we're so confident in our work that we encourage you to get multiple estimates. Look at each company's reviews and check the scope of their pipelining work to make sure it's what you're expecting. But at the end of the day, make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I have to brag about my kids' success again. My daughter's success, thanks to our friends at Awaken 180. Now, you know my daughter, Amber, as I've been telling you, has been trying to drop some weight for a while. Couldn't really find the right means. Well, she's now been in the Awaken 180 program for close to a month. And you ready for this? She's dropped over 30 pounds. That's right. The number is real. 30 pounds in close to a month. That's with no shots, nothing extreme, just the right plan, the right food, proper coaching, all from the folks at Awaken 180. She already said it's affected her mobility, just her life in general. Man, she is happy. And that means her mother and I are happy too. I can promise you that. So if you're ready to kickstart your transformation, call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Get started on your weight loss journey. Call them today at Awaken 180.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
Like a lot of guys, Jacksonville's Mitch Fandle thought he could get a better deal on his engagement ring at one of those well-known big box corporate jewelry stores at the town center. But then he discovered locally owned Beard's Diamonds.
Beard's had by far the largest selection.
And he couldn't believe the no middleman prices at Beard's.
We were able to afford, it was probably twice the size of what she wanted, stayed within my budget. I wanted to buy her a bigger ring than she wanted to get. Kind of a win-win for everybody.
But the best part, Mitch didn't feel like a number
number at Beard's, he got personal one-on-one attention with zero pressure.
Some of the other stores that we did go into, they were big corporate chains, so that might have played a factor into us not really getting the service that I was looking for.
Beard's Diamonds, with no commission salespeople and owners who are right here in Jacksonville.
Keeping local dollars in Jacksonville and in the community is great.
Beard's Diamonds.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beard's. You're going to get a great experience.
At St. John's Town Center.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
According to our listeners, Lonnie Anderson danced to this. Centerfold, pinup girl, pinup poster model. 3,800. Rick, you really think Buck is better than Collinsworth? Yes. Blonde bombshell from the 80s. So that's the word I was looking for. I don't know what it was that I was looking for. Maybe it was a sex symbol. I don't know. That was back in the day. I mean, apparently you can't be one nowadays, right? Who's the one wearing the jeans?
Sydney Sweeney.
Right.
I just wish I would have found out about the stock. It's up 13% in the last week. Made some money.
Mm-hmm. Incredible. I tell you what else is incredible. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, the Miller Electric Center. Okay? 8:30 to 10:10 is when they will practice. Tomorrow we'll hear from Liam Cohen. Tomorrow we'll hear from Trevor Lawrence. I'll also have an interview with Walker Little, which I am very excited about. The 2887 says, Ballou, this safety room, man, brutal. I disagree. I'm surprised by that. I disagree. Now, I am disappointed that Caleb Ransaw's out with that lower body injury. I would love for him to be the number 2 guy next to Eric Murray. Murray's had a real good camp. And it feels like it's a 3-man battle now for that second spot with Darnell Savage, Dewey Wingard, who did have a pick. We found out yesterday that Travis Hunter's human. He dropped the ball. It was his first drop of camp, and it was picked off by Dewey Wingard. And then you have Antonio Johnson. Again, I just love his upside. I just wish it would work out for him. He's got so much length, and I think he can be a good football player. But again, if you look at today's depth chart that came out, they say Eric Murray or Darnell Savage, and then they say Andrew Wingard or Antonio Johnson. Right now they have Wingard listed as a starter. Savage has had a really good camp. Dewey's had a good camp. I've told you about Hamilton and Armstead, and then, of course, you have the edges with Hines Allen and Walker. Here's what's a little intriguing as well. Foye and Devin Lloyd, your starting linebackers. Then they go with, as your third backer on the outside, either Yasir Abdullah or Dennis Gardeck. Now, I don't think Abdullah makes the team, even though he's listed first team. I just don't think he makes it. And Dennis Gardeck just, got called off the shelf, just barely got called off the pup. And we know they're not going to be in a lot of 3 linebacker sets. They're primarily going to be in nickel. But I'm surprised. They have, Miller and Muma and Kaiser all at middle or weak side. So that came out today as well. And again, it's an unofficial depth chart. But that's all we have at this point. 61-21 Ballou. Trevor's been so sharp, he threw a pick in the end zone. Go, Trevor, go, Jags. Yeah, okay, we get it, where you're at. I mean, there's really no in-between right now with Trevor. You're either in or you're not in. And I thought it was a really good scrimmage for Trevor Lawrence. He made a mistake there at the end that you cannot make. You absolutely cannot make. 44-33 Blue. I'd be really surprised. The narrative has always been players come here to get paid and end their careers. There's been some exceptions. Calais is an exception. All right. I think Ingram in a one-year show me was an exception. I thought Puzzlesny was an exception. I think colleague Leon Cersei back in 96 was an exception. Foye, an exception. You're talking late in the career, though. You know, you're talking about the Bryce Pops and the Carnell Lakes. And I guess this comes after the conversation we had a little bit earlier about Eric Armstead. It's a fair point. What's going on with Johnson, Rick, from the 5262? Who's what am I missing out here?
Yes, Antonio Johnson.
Man, I love him. I'm his biggest fan. He's got so much length. And you talk about the ability to pop, man. Woo. I don't know if it's a lack of football instincts, or I think others may say he's just not that good of a player. You know, he's an all-airport player. Who was the remember Jimmy Kennedy, first-round pick by the Rams? I believe he came out of Penn State. I remember when he got here, and I looked at him, and I was like, brother, you got to be kidding me, man. That kid's absolutely sensational. Well, he was every day but Sunday Jimmy. He looks great all week long. And then all of a sudden you put him out there and he doesn't make plays. I hope that's not the case for Antonio Johnson. But I don't have an answer for you. I would love to see him win that safety job. And I think he's better, you know, towards the line of scrimmage than he certainly is as a free safety. But we're going to see how this, you know, how this new scheme totally does work. It's going to be interesting. Hunter third on defense, 1459. You know, Hunter's listed as second string on defense. Let me see it here. Make sure there's not an or involved. My goodness, when's the last time Travis Hunter was actually third on a depth chart? It goes Tyson Campbell and Jordan Lewis, backed up by Jarian Jones and Buster Brown, backed up by Travis Hunter and the newly acquired Levi Wallace. And there you go. And then you got some guy, you know what? Deontay Prince has showed out at times. Christian Braswell, in my opinion, Christian Braswell had one of the best camps in the secondary a year ago. I was really surprised he didn't make the team. They kept him around. He's on the practice squad. I want to say I saw Braswell at gunner the other night. I think that those two positions are up for grabs as well. So what they've done here, though, which is intriguing, is they only listed 4 in the secondary. They have Campbell and Lewis as your starting corners. They have Murray and Wingard as your starting safeties. We know that Lewis moves inside the nickel once they go, once they get away from their base coverage. Who becomes the third corner? A healthy Buster Brown, Jarian Jones, or Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter at times, no doubt, he's going to be out there. 55-22, Rick, quick question of all our missed draft picks, Derek Henley being the biggest. How did we ever miss out on, I don't even know what he's trying to say here. Are they trying to stab my tongue? Either that or they wrote a different name. I didn't know if it was one of those deals they were trying to make me say something on the radio, which I appreciate and I love and I respect. But please resend that with the correct name. 7094, what if I told you they don't care about money and the best player plays? I don't agree with that. These guys all care about the money. I mean, it's their livelihood. It's their right to get paid. It's few and far between. But you know what? You got problems right now in Cincinnati with Hendrickson. You got problems all over Dallas. What? Cook now is holding out in Buffalo. You've got McLaren who wants to be traded in D.C. You got problems all over the place. It's nice not to have any problems here. And I tell you what, Trayvon Walker could create a hornet's nest. He could. Again, I don't know him well. It's different from when the media talks with him to the way that he is, but I just don't think he's wired that way. I don't think he's going to be a problem. So that's good to know. 69-55, Ballou, like the old saying. Here we go again with our quarterback. Also in the lyrics of White Snake's song, yada, yada. Yeah, here we go. Love the old White Snake song. But it's got to turn for Trevor. It has to turn for Trevor. He's got weapons, man. He's got weapons. He's got guys that can fly. That wide receiver core is looking really impressive at this time. And Parker Washington continues to make plays. But that's the problem. He can't make that mistake that he did in that ball that was intended for Parker Washington very late in the scrimmage on Friday night. You just can't do it. Now, they're all going to throw picks. I get that, right? And, we can dissect. That's a red zone pick. And this team was awful in red zone. Now, he did respond with that Brenton Strange touchdown. That was good to see. That was a nice pass. That was a laser. That was contested coverage. But you hope, and we'll talk to Trevor about that tomorrow. I kind of assume that he's going to give us the standard, I can't make that mistake. I did it. I should have thrown it away. I know it becomes nauseating to some, but you really do hope it is a teaching moment and that this football team is able to get to him and convince him that he absolutely cannot do that. It was still a really good scrimmage. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, this is with the Furyk thing that I was involved with earlier today. Why are they moving Furyk and Friends? That's a beautiful golf course out of Timicon. I don't know. I'm not sure what the reason is. I can find out. I'll find out tomorrow. Smitter was out there. Gary Smits will know. 52-65. Hey, Ballou, did you see the duo of Foy and Lloyd are the highest-ranked linebacker duo in the new Madden game? They're both in the top 10. Well, that's impressive. They're a very good run defense. And I can't believe there's another position group. I don't play Madden. Is there another position? I can't believe one that there's even close, Dylan, that they're, near the top 10 as far as a position group.
No, Travis Hunter had an 84 rating, which is pretty good for a rookie. So I'd probably be second best. I would assume at the receiver group with him and BTJ. The edge rush, that would be easy. I think Trayvon's low on Madden. I forget what it is. I saw someone talking about that today. But yeah, those would be the only three groups that would be, somewhat high for the Jags.
I actually wrote this down last week, even though I don't play video games. I don't play Madden or any of that. But as you pointed out, Hunter got an 84. He was top ranked at both wide receiver and cornerback, both with the scores of 84. And then Tootin came in at 75, which was fourth for running backs. Wyatt Milam came in at a 71, which was fourth for right guards. Jonah Monheim came in at a 63, which was fifth for centers. And one defensive guy on the list. Unfortunately, he's nicked up. That's Caleb Ransaw, a 73. So he was second for free safeties. Yeah, I know I wrote that down last week and never had an opportunity to get to it. So busy around here. Absolutely. All right, when we come back, let's grab a few more of these and bring up the poll. Let's take a look at the college football poll. They released it. College football buries themselves all the time. Well, they released the college poll today. If you have not heard, I'll share it with you on the other side.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers, the right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change. So why are you ignoring your septic tank? That thing's working around the clock, taking every flush, shower, and mystery casserole down the line. Eventually, it fills up. And when it does, you do not want to find out the hard way. Don't wait for the stink. Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
How about the Red Sox passing the Yankees? Just awesome. It's the least amount of Red Sox baseball I've watched ever. And I tell you what, these kids can play. And getting some healthy veterans. Story's been healthy forever. Now they get, Bregman back, which is good news. A lot of stuff going on YouTube. Go to 1010XL Into the Night. Unfortunately, we do not have the technology to respond right now, which is very disappointing because there's a lot of good stuff on there, including my buddy Kendra Middleton saying, "What's up, friends?" Chiming in from Boston. I know she was across the pond, but it's good to have her back in Beantown. Actually, they don't call it Beantown. Beantown's an awful name. It's the hub. That's the name, right? It's Boston or it's the hub. Beantown's pretty stupid, if you do ask me. Let's get to the college football poll. Let's look at that. Texas, 28 first-place votes. Okay. Ahead of Ohio State, who got 20. Penn State, 14. Georgia, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Notre Dame comes in at 5. Clemson actually got 2 first-place votes. They're 6. Oregon, Bama, LSU, Miami at number 10. Wow. 2 Atlantic Coast Conference teams at 6 and 10. And an independent with Notre Dame at 5, obviously surrounded by SEC and Big Ten. Big Ten at 2 and 3. Of course, they've won the last 2 national titles. Texas 1, Georgia 4, Bama 8, LSU 9. Arizona State at number 11. Illinois at 12.
You know they went 10-3 last year?
Yeah.
I had no idea until I looked it up. They were 9-3, and then they won the bowl game against South Carolina. No memory of that happening. On New Year's Eve.
South Carolina really getting pimped here. Really, I mean, they ranked higher than Florida in the SEC, preseason votes a few weeks ago in Atlanta. They come in at 13. Michigan at 14. Mississippi 15. SMU at 16. And then you have it, the Florida Gators at number 17. Tennessee 18, Indiana 19. I mean, this looks like a college basketball poll. Indiana, Kansas State, Texas A&M, Iowa State. Boy, man, college football feels weak this year. Look at 19 through 25. Indiana, Kansas State, Texas A&M, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, Boise State. I just stayed in beautiful Boise, Idaho, when I took my trip through the, out west. Started in Colorado, went through South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and then, of course, Boise, Idaho. Saw the big blue field. That's what's scary about this poll. And people have argued with me on it, but I'm going to sit with this. I really believe there are fewer teams who can win a college football national championship than there are in the NFL. Right now, my money says you can bet on more in the NFL. I think you can find a legitimate 8 teams right now that can win a Super Bowl. I think you can find a legitimate 8 teams right now that can win a World Series. I do not feel that way about the college football national championship. Now, there'll be upsets during the playoffs. We saw that a year ago. We saw what happened to all 4 teams with the bye. And we ended up having number 7 against the number 8 when Ohio State knocked off Notre Dame. But when you get through Texas and Ohio State, I automatically look at Penn State at number 3, and I'm like, no. I mean, when's the last time Penn State was really relevant? When's the last time Penn State was truly a national title contender? I may pick Georgia. I'm trying to figure it out. Texas, Ohio State, Georgia kind of makes sense there. Notre Dame, very forgiving schedule. But it becomes difficult once you make it into the playoffs. Clemson, hell no. There's no team from the ACC that can play right now with the SEC and the Big Ten. Oregon, please. Every year it's Oregon. Oregon's not made to win a national title. They never do. They never have. Okay? It'll be another season. They'll be 10-2, 11-2. Fine year. They're not going to win a national title. Bama, wouldn't bet on it. LSU, I mean, look at this now. Where are you going to go after that? That's your top. You're going to pick Miami to win a national title? Okay, I'll meet you at the window because you're going to be losing. Arizona State? Hell no. Look at these schools. Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan. So you don't have a team here that all of a sudden is going to wake up and make a run. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying cancel the season. But honestly, make a case for one of these teams for me. Make a case that Florida survives with that schedule. Make a case that Tennessee can get there with a brand new quarterback after the meltdown they had there under center. Texas A&M. Every year, Texas A&M yelled and yelled and yelled, and they'd have divisions, and you check it, and Texas A&M never would finish higher than third in the SEC West. They're like Va-Tech. Va-Tech's not even here. Va-Tech, oh, it's the greatest entrance in college football. You stop what you're doing when Va-Tech comes out to Metallica. Then all of a sudden you go, you grab a beer, you eat a hot dog, you go to the restroom, you come back, you sit down. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, 10-0 opponent over Va-Tech. These are just guarantees that you have in college football. My Noles are nowhere near on this list. I guess they got a couple of receiving votes, which I frankly don't understand. You know, they're coming here 7th, 8th, and 9th. I go every year. I guess I'm not even going to go. I mean, Mike Norvell's closed practice. I'm not going to go over there and watch them stretch.
Throw the ball around, do some pat and goes.
They don't even do that. I mean, I haven't seen anything video-wise except for their first day. Maybe I'm missing out. If you're a Florida State fan, please let me know if I can find any daily highlights or pictures. Mike Norvell has said no. And you know what? It's going to be a problem because stuff leaks. If you have 3 days worth of practice over here at UNF, you know what's going to happen? Certain individuals will be allowed to go. Those certain individuals will say what they saw, or they'll tell a family member who will tell someone else. I mean, trying to protect your players in this fashion, the way that Mike Norvell is going about it, is wrong. And it's not like he has control of his program. It's not like he can look at the people and say, don't leak. He's got no control over his program. I mean, that guy allowed 28 players to quit on him before the Orange Bowl. 28 of them. You don't have control of a program when you allow 28 players, or 28 players just tell you I'm out. And then you go out and get a quarterback who pops off, then doubles down at Alabama. I mean, that's no presence over a program. That's no leadership over a program. And that's what he's dealing with right now. I mean, I'm not going to miss a Jaguars training camp day to go over there and watch him stretch. And then what? Talk to Norvell after? What the hell am I going to ask Mike Norvell if I don't have an opportunity to watch him practice? So this is just bad. They should be craving attention. You know, they should be reaching out and try to spin a positive on things. But, you know, that's what he's done. He's put himself against the world. He's a desperate man. And he even said that last week. It's desperate. So we'll see. They're still a 2-touchdown underdog on opening day at home against Alabama.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Florida heat hitting like a heavyweight? Time to call in the champ. KO Electric and HVAC. We knock out the heat and power up your comfort. Fast, reliable, and undefeated in home service. KOElectricJacks.com. KOElectricJacks.com.
Ready to add some value to your day? The everyday deals at Sunny's have got you covered. Right now, you can get the pork big deal for 10, the pork and rib combo for 12, all you can eat ribs for $19.99, and our new loaded barbecue potato for $11. Available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Do not go anywhere because you have been called out. And I will get to that in just 1 minute. First things first, let me tell you, the Jaguars rested on this Monday. They collectively bargained that with the NFL and the NFL Players Association. Where, oh, by the way, today David White was announced as the NFLPA's interim executive director. But they rest today. They're at it tomorrow morning, 8:30 to 10:10 or 8:10 to 10:10, one of the two. And it's going to be an interesting day. I expect them to be in full pads after being in spider pads on Sunday. So I think it's going to be a real good work day for them. And then after practice, get an opportunity to hear from both Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen. And you know, there's a lot of questions you want answers to. Will Liam tomorrow tell us how much the starters are going to play on Saturday? He doesn't have to. You know, I don't know about you, but I would love to see Pittsburgh play some starters on Saturday night, especially on defense. And I'd love to see Jacksonville be able to go up ones against ones. Again, I have no idea. You know, I just don't know what to expect. It doesn't feel like a perfect science now as we start another year with only 3 preseason games as opposed to 4. They did add today, defensively, they added a defensive lineman, a guy who's got plenty of experience in this league. What did I do with that piece of paper? But it was what? Anthony Johnson joins the football team. He was a second-round pick by Tennessee back in 2016, and he has played in 131 games. So they got a veteran defensive tackle, something that we've talked about for quite some time. The 0956 has just made a scalding comment. Ballou, I'm so sick of this Jags fan base being so negative all the time. Damn the Trevor hate. What do you haters want? Another Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles, Nick Foles? I'll take Trevor over that crap. We have, and besides Mark Brunell and David Garrard, either be a Jag fan through thick and thin, or go be a fan of another team. Wow. We are one of 32 teams blessed to have a team. Let's act like it. I say this to the fan base, not you, Ballou. I have no problem with you calling out other fans. Where I come from, that is historic. Boston fans calling out other Boston fans. The one thing I would argue with you on is to tell them to go elsewhere. This franchise needs every fan. And, you know, people are sick of losing. This team won 4 games a year ago. You're right that there's a lot of fans that are negative, but man, they lose and they lose and they lose and they lose. I think if you look at the other side, look at this fan base and how many people are positive considering they won 4 games a year ago. I mean, remember those 16 days that Balky was still the GM after they fired Doug Peterson? It was literally like the Walking Dead around here. I mean, there was absolutely no pulse in this city. There was no heartbeat in this city. It was just a bunch of zombies, you know, getting through the month of January or into early February. And look at it now. I mean, again, this is a 4-win team. As bright as the local media has been, as saying all the right things about this team and fans buying into it. What did ESPN drop on you last week when they ranked the coaching staffs in the NFL? You know where they had Jacksonville? 31. Not everyone's buying it. Not everyone believes that this thing is going to be able to turn around. And again, one of the major points of this is, is Trevor Lawrence, who continues to, or statistically speaking, has led the NFL in turnovers since he has come into the league. So it's pretty fascinating. But, yeah, I don't think it's all of this fan base. Matter of fact, I know it's not all of this fan base. There are plenty of fans out there that are very positive. Winning fixes it all. You win and they'll show. There's no doubt. That has always been proven.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Hacker Nation will be back out there tomorrow morning to take in another Jaguars practice. It's going to be a fun week around here.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, obviously you got the preseason opener on Saturday. You got practices tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. I believe tomorrow is the last one that's open to the fan base, so you should have a pretty good crowd out there. I think August 5th was the last one. At least that's, if memory serves, what it says on the parking pass. So, look, they opened up 9 practices. The scrimmage was a lot of fun on Friday night. I think upwards of 10, 11,000 people took that in, and I was down there yesterday, had the opportunity to catch up with Joshua Cephas.
Nice.
We'll play that conversation tonight. And again, second year in a row, pretty good training camp for Joshua Cephas.
Yeah. He's a lock.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, he's number 5. The question remains, do you keep 6 or do you keep an extra defensive tackle? Do you keep an extra safety? You know, usually it's 25, 25, 3. 25 offense, 25 defense, and 3 special teams guys. They could go 26-24 this year. It'd be interesting to see what they do.
It will be, and I know I heard you talking about the depth chart earlier, and again, it's a depth chart on August the 4th. So we have to obviously preface our statements by that. I think they're required to put one out because it's a preseason game week here in Jacksonville. Anything catch you off guard on that depth chart that maybe you didn't expect before it got released?
Yeah, Yasir Abdullah is one of your starting linebackers.
But he's been playing a lot with the ones.
I know he has.
A lot with the ones.
And I just said, I don't even think he's going to make the team. Apparently, they see what I do not see.
Look, I go back to that 2023 draft, and you know how we always talk about every single year, give it 2 or 3 years to play itself out. That 2023 draft, Anton Harrison, Brenton Strange, Tank Bigsby, Ventrell Miller, Yasir Abdullah, Tyler Lacey, Antonio Johnson, Parker Washington. It's a pretty good draft. I mean, look, we destroy Balky, and
Bring
with
back
good reason.
Balky.
I'm not saying that at all. Not at all. But good grief, man. I just named you 9 guys off of that 2023 draft class that are probably locks to make this football team.
And a lot of opportunity for those guys.
Yeah.
Especially a guy like Tyler Lacey. I was just talking about him. I mean, he's been basically a snap count guy. You know, come in when someone else is out, give you 14, 17 plays a game. What if he can step forward or Jordan Jefferson can step forward? I know it's a big if, but it's there for him.
Lacey had a good scrimmage. Now, those guys are getting a lot of extra run because of Eric Armstead and Mason Smith. Is the Armstead thing starting to get your attention a little bit?
It's been getting my attention since the day I asked Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't know enough about Liam yet to try to get exactly what he's saying. But it's one of two things. Either they're going to give him a veteran camp and he flips the switch in September, or there's something wrong with him again.
Yeah, that's my concern. Now, again, it's early, but it's not as early as it was 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, we're 2 weeks into training camp. We're a month away from the season. You'd like to see Eric Armstead get out there pretty soon.
No doubt. I mean, last year he was on the PUP, so it was kind of understood. This year he's not. I mean, we were told that he was fine. I heard he had an unbelievable offseason, and leadership was stressed, and he really grabbed the bull by the horns, and I don't know. We just haven't seen it yet. All right, what else tonight?
Yeah, I mentioned Joshua Cephas. That conversation will come up here in about 20 minutes. Also, D. Webb, former Gator cornerback, played for the Jaguars, was a 7th-round pick here in Jacksonville. We're going to talk to D about his work in the high school game here locally. Obviously, Billy Napier, DJ Lagway, and the Gators, and a little bit on Travis Hunter with Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, have a fun show. I'll see you in the morning.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to be it for us here on this Monday, but tomorrow's a big day. It is a big one. Down at the Miller Electric Center. No place I'd rather be, especially first thing in the morning. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I expect full pads. I expect... how are they going to do the Hunter situation? Will they put him on defense perhaps tomorrow? We shall see. Thank you to Travis Holmes. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow night at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.